Every now and then, I'll read a comic that's a cut above the rest. A true blue 10 on 10, no notes, no complaints, perfectly executed premise that leaves me feeling like I just read something special. And can I say that out of the 2 single issues that I've read in my life so far that have left me feeling this way, I'm so happy one of them's an Astro City comic. Quick refresher for those coming into this video lacking context. Astro City is set in a world of superheroes, but the main draw is not standard superhero fare. Instead, we see what it's like to live in such a world, often getting a more human perspective of the events. The issue I'm focusing on today, number 41, comes smack dab in the middle of the run published under DC Comics' Vertigo imprint. However, this issue is also the 100th issue of Astro City over the series' entire lifetime. And so, Kurt Busiek and Brad Anderson decide to celebrate this milestone by showing us how Astro City got its name. The year was 1936, and our perspective is from an upcoming city councilman of the city Romian Falls, Joseph Greenwald. Joe is honest as much as a politician can be, but he's certainly ambitious and shrewd as well, waiting for the right moment to take his career to the next level. He doesn't have to wait long, as we are soon introduced to Roy Virgil. The best way to describe Roy is he's Errol Flynn with a dash of early Tony Stark. Boisterous, fun-loving, can charm the pants off of any lady he meets, and a smile that can put you at ease pretty please. Roy is a brilliant inventor who dreams of taking humanity to the stars, earning him the nickname of the Astronaut from the press. Roy's popularity hasn't gone unnoticed by our young politician, and when he stops a saboteur sent by the mob by himself, Joe asks Roy to consider becoming a superhero on a regular basis. While their partnership was more of a cordial one in the beginning, over time the two became fast friends, with Roy even giving Joe a signal lamp to call him after he finally became mayor. One of the best friend benefits Joe got was a first-hand description of the adventures the astronaut had in space, including a beautiful alien lady that Roy had fallen for, and got separated from when her planet came under attack by a violent alien race. However, at this time, Earth had her own problems, as World War II was threatening America's shores, and the US government was very interested in the exotic tech of the astronaut, that interest being putting said exotic tech in the hands of US soldiers. Roy, however, had no interest in sharing and turned them away. Of course, this was an America that had yet to come face to face with the fact that their ideals may not align exactly with the interests of their government, leading to the astronaut being declared a traitor by the masses. The feds take advantage of this national pride and approach Joe to try and get their hands on the astronaut's tech. Joe eventually gives in and takes them to Roy's hidden base. While the agents turn the place upside down for something they could scavenge, Joe goes looking for Roy for a chance to apologize and has a chance encounter with him after walking through a portal he found in his room. Roy has a talk with Joe about why he chose not to hand his tech over to the government. The aliens he encountered, the Mervani, were a violent race who had received access to advanced tech far before they developed the wisdom required to yield it. So they became warmongers who went about conquering world after world. And Roy feels that humanity is far too similar to them. He still feels that the stars are humanity's future, but right now they may not be its present. Despite everything, Roy did still fight in World War II as the astronaut, even getting captured at one point. He escaped, but the German scientists got a look at his tech, and when those scientists were hired by the US government to rebuild said tech, they ended up emitting a signal leading the Mervani straight to Romian Falls. And thus, the astronaut flew one last time, protecting the people who distrusted him, with the effort almost costing his life. As he lay battered and near death, Joe redeems himself by helping Roy destroy the evidence of all the new stuff he'd been working on, so that this mistake would not be repeated in the future. As he watches his friend disappear for the last time through one of his patented doorways, never to be seen again. A few years later, with the public opinion now much more favorable toward the astronaut, Joe gets Romian Falls rechristened as Astro City, and soon enough, it became a city of heroes with many following Roy Virgil's footsteps. As for Joe, now an old man, hoping that his friend is still out there among the stars, we see him raise a glass to Roy, as we see the signal that the astronaut had once given him now serves as a beacon for the rest of Astro City. I love this comic a lot. Now, some of my viewers may have noticed more than a passing similarity between the astronaut story and that of the Silver Agent, a story which I've already covered, check out the video, as both were beloved heroes that continued to serve a public that had turned against them, even had not hesitating to go to their deaths to do so. But isn't that what it means to be a selfless hero? To continue to fight the good fight, even if and when it becomes difficult to do so? What works for this story is the whole character arc of Roy Virgil, as he goes from someone who's optimistic and wants to reach the stars with the world, only to realize that the world isn't there just yet. We also get a more optimistic or naive personality in Joe, who believes that the world is perfectly split into good and evil. And he gets a harsh lesson through his friendship with the astronaut about how hard it is to differentiate between the two. It's not that it's hard to blame him, as he struggles with the decision to betray his friend, but he is convinced that it's the right thing to do because at the time, doing what's best for your country was the right thing to do. And it's clear that the two had a genuine friendship, with both of them holding each other in high regard, and Joe clearly fondly thinks of his friend to this day. So, that's the story of how Astro City began. I encourage you to check it out for yourself and let me know what your 10 out of 10 single issue comic is. Thanks for watching. Also, if you have the time, check out this other video here, and if you have the means, consider supporting me on Patreon. There's only 2 tiers, and it's not that much to offer. But hey, if you can't right now, no pressure. Just watch my videos, and I'm honestly very happy with that.